Kwam Shala, Zephaniah, Yahayaka, Yasha'Allah, a.k.a. Yah Mordecai, wise warrior coming from the Most High, Mighty One God of Israel, coming from Sith World Tiger School of Truth, servants in the house of the Lord, together in God's eternal righteousness. Sith World Tiger. First, I want to give all honor and glory for the Most High Yahweh, the God that created the heavens and the earth, the God that created everything you see, the God you should fear. I want to thank Him for the knowledge, wisdom, the understanding, the faith, grace, and mercy, the fortitude, the resolve to keep battling in this truth against all odds. Thank Him for the spiritual foresight to see through a lot of stuff spiritually. And, you know, the eternal God that live forever. Amen. Oh, and another shout out to the sister Rhea from the Carter School. Sister doing beautiful work. It's a beautiful virtual learning school. You know, I prayed to the Most High, man, because I didn't want my son to go. My son just started school, and I ain't want him going to public school. Ain't no Israelite schools around here. And the Most High sent her across my path, you know what I mean? And it just been a beautiful thing for my son, you know. You can check the sister out on Instagram, Facebook. The school is called Carter School. YACHAAD. It's based in Arizona. They got their own website. You can Google it. It's a beautiful school. You can go on the website and check it, all the details out about the school. What else? Okay, so it been this thing going on where the brothers from St. Louis, I don't know if all of them from St. Louis, but brothers they minds done reprobated, they done lost the understanding, and they trying to push a vegetarian diet, veganism or whatever you want to call it. The brother Mahal Khan, who I collabed with before in the past, from Army of Israel, brought that out. And I don't know if they was trying to make the brother feel like he off for eating meat or whatever. But what's going on is a lot of these brothers, they run out of material when it's truth. So they start reaching. Because they start meditating in this truth. You should never run out of classes to do. You know what I mean? Different reasons. Brothers had itchy ears. I don't know. It just be, it's narratives that try to get pushed. But, you know, if it's false, it's going to get chopped up. It's like we about to see white lane. You know what I mean? So, let's get into it. Let's start off at Sirach 33. Sirach 33 and 2. A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in the storm. So it's law for us to have a wide range in our diet. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go into the dietary law. Brothers trying to discount the Bible, whatever. We gonna get into all this stuff. These brothers are hypocrites. So the brothers, they trying to claim Nazarite, that we all Nazarites. They reaching. So we about to get into it right now. They like a ship in a storm. Because 1 minute you over here, then you over here, and your doctrine not 100%. What does Scripture say? Make full proof of thy ministry. These brothers not making full proof. Though the Most High got men set up that's going to come and challenge stuff. You know what I mean? So let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs 20 and 5. Let's see what else is going on. We gonna see. We gonna see. Brothers don't think nothing through. Know what I mean? When they get to doing that, their little doctrine don't make sense. They don't think it through. They don't see it, don't even make sense. Proverbs 20 and 5. Counsel is the heart of man. We know heart means mind in the Bible. Counsel is the heart of man. It's like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. So that's what I'm going to do. No matter how deep brothers try to get, no matter how many books they try to go into, a wise man gonna search it out. They can think they going as deep as they can go into Hebrew, they can go in this book and that book. I ain't even about to go through all that. This is all I need. This is how easy to break this down gonna be right here. See, a lot of brothers lack comprehension of the English language. You know what I mean? They be guessing and they not fully understanding how stuff is. The English language, one word got multiple meanings. And you got to recognize how stuff is worded, pronunciation, everything going to the English language. It ain't just reading a sentence and then trying, you know what I mean? It's not just that. Let's go to it say, okay, let's go to 2 Timothy. Let's get into it and break it down. That's what we gotta do. We gotta break it all the way down. We gotta edify the people. 2 Timothy 4 and 1 through 4. I charge thee, therefore, before God and the Lord Yahweh, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing, and his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort, with all long suffering and doctrine. So it tell you right there, we supposed to correct stuff all year round, in season, out of season. It is meaning all year round, not actual seasons. Mean no matter where you at, no matter the circumstances, you supposed to be ready at the drop of a dime to edify, reprove, correct somebody, rebuke, chastise somebody, exhort, give a brother his props with all long suffering and doctrine. No matter how I get to you, might not be in a mood or this or that, but you gotta be long suffering and doctrine. Doctrine gotta be sound. 3. For the time will come when they will not endorse sound doctrine. You see that? So you have to be ready to go through all them limits, because brothers gonna come along with I'm a veganite. They will not endorse sound doctrine. You brothers going off to eat meat. They will not endorse sound doctrine. Oh, hey, the brothers up there holding the lamb up in the air and killing the lamb and all that. That brothers trying to feminize this truth. They will not endorse sound doctrine. But after their own lusts, oh, we shouldn't eat meat. Esau and them push that agenda. We was made to be vegetarians. What it say? They will not endorse sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers. Brothers swear they teachers, but they don't think nothing through. Having itching ears, They always listening for something they can get and grab, so they can sound sweet and new and relevant. You know what I mean? And bring down an old understanding. Ain't nothing wrong about correcting an old understanding, but you better make sure your stuff 100% foolproof before you do that. Can't get an idea in this truth without searching it out, meditating on it, and thinking it through. Because when you do that, somebody gonna come along and poke a hole in that understanding like a balloon. Verse 4, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth. The truth sitting right here, our dietary law, and shall be turned unto fables. All these other books shall be turned unto fables. Esau science shall be turned unto fables. Other brothers seduced them in a believing something, shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, endure all the BS, do the work, put the work in of an evangelist, teach, spreading the word, make full proof of thy ministry. Brothers not making full proof of their ministry. There's something else that I got next. I'm gonna bring out too about I seen a brother about the seed of the father don't mean seed of the father. That's coming next. Let's go to Ephesians 4:19. I'm gonna chop that up too. Ephesians 4:19. Who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lavishness to work all uncleanness with greediness. Who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lavishness to work all uncleanness with greediness. Okay, so let's go up to 1. This I say therefore and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, eating abominable foods in the vanity of their mind, puffed up in your mind, the glory in your mind, having the understanding darkened. Having the understanding darkened. Brothers that's doing that, they understanding is darkened now. Being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them. That come from not thinking stuff through. That's the ignorance that's in man. When man don't think nothing through, they become ignorant to certain things because of blindness of their mind. On the blindness of their mind. Let's go. So, okay, now we about to dive in. So the brother, the St. Louis brother, said that we're Nazarites. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people gonna dive onto that. That's why you got constantly be in your book all the time. You know what I mean? So when these false doctrines arise, you could chop that stuff up. Let's go to Numbers. Now we about to see now. Is these people that's claiming they Nazarites, is they really being Nazarites? Numbers chapter 6, verse 2. Hold up. Numbers chapter 6, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to a vow of a Nazarite. Nah, we all Nazarites. Automatically we Nazarites. We not Israelites, we Nazarites. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves, nah, we all together. And you in this truth, you automatically a Nazarite. Separate themselves. To vow a vow of a Nazarite. It's a whole different law that's associated with Israel. To separate themselves unto the Lord. You isolate yourself strictly unto the Yahweh under under bigger suffering for the Lord. Is what the Nazarite vow going into. Verse 3. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, okay, nor eat moist grapes or dry. So, okay, brothers will say, well, I ain't drinking wine, I ain't drinking liquor no more, I'm a Nazarite. Let's keep going. Verse 4. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. Verse 5. Verse 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head. You ain't going to cut your head until the days be fulfilled. Okay, until you completely become a Nazarite. Okay, in which he separated himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy and shall let the locks of his head grow. All right, so I don't see brothers letting their head grow. You gotta let your head grow until you completed that vow, till you doing everything completely. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's go to Psalms 104:15. So they trying to say Christ was a Nazarite. They trying to say we just Nazarites. So let's see if it's a conflict going on. Let's see if the Most High is divided against himself with statements like that. Let's see. Psalms 104:15. And wine that maketh glad the heart, the mind of man, and oil to make his face shine, and bread which strengthen a man's heart. And that can be going and talking about spiritual too. But when you go up to verse 14, he causeth the grass to grow for the cattle and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. So that's going to literal with the Most High supplied man right there. And then it going, he also gave us wine and oil to make our face shine. Like I got oil on my face. Make your face glow. And wine to make you feel good. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 10 and 19. Ecclesiasticus, where we at? Ecclesiasticus 10 and 19. A feast is made for laughter. So feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. So that can also be going to, brothers talking about we ain't supposed to be keeping no feast days. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry. Make a man feel good inside. It's like medicine. Um, let's go to Sirach 31. Sirach 31 and 27. Wine is as good as life to man, if it be drunk moderately. What life is then to a man that is without wine? For it was made to make men glad. Nah, we just Nazarites. For it was made to make men glad. Come on, man. The Nazarite law is for a man that's going to take himself on a high level of suffering for the Lord. You ain't pleasuring it, you know what I mean? Let's go. Let's go back to Numbers now. Let's go back to Numbers. We tackling the Nazarite thing first. We showing how brothers is hypocritical. It's about to come out, and I want a brother to let me know if you doing these things. Okay, you can say, yeah, we not drinking no wine or no liquor on that. Let's keep going. Numbers chapter 6, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves, all Israel are Nazarites, separate themselves to a vow of a Nazarite. That's a separation right there. A vow under us a Nazarite. You making a vow to the Lord, but it's a vow of a Nazarite. It's a distinction. To separate themselves unto the Lord. Verse 3. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar or strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dry. Verse 4. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you brothers doing this right here. Let's go to we about to go to the vine tree. We about to see right now. Let's see. Are you eating cucumbers? That's on the vine. No salads for thou. Are you eating tomatoes? No salads for thou. Are you eating strawberries? Pumpkins? Negroes really don't like pumpkins. Grapes, okay. You say, nah, I ain't eating grapes no more. You not eating no cantaloupes? No peas? You don't like peas? Blueberries? Currants? Watermelon? I know Negroes like water. You ain't eating no watermelon? Beans? You ain't eating no kind of beans. No kind of beans? You don't like black-eyed peas? 16 bean soup? Kiwis? Potatoes? Not eating no potatoes. Raspberries? Passion fruit? Chayote? Blackberries? Summer squash? I know you eat some squash. I know you eat some squash. Malabar spinach? You don't like spinach? You don't eat spinach. You so serious with the Nazarite thing, you ain't eat no spinach? Winter squash? Honeydew melon? Dragon fruit? Melon and hardy kiwi? Come on now. I know you eating some of this stuff I just named right here. I know you did. Okay. What was the other point the brother brought out? So then they try to trash the King James because they don't comprehend it for real. You gotta comprehend the English language to comprehend the Most High. knew we was going to be in captivity and knew English was going to be the dominant language on the planet, on this earth plane. So you gotta understand how the English language works. I used to be a lyricist, and I was a bookworm in English and all that growing up. The English language, one word can have multiple meanings. It can be worded, a letter added to it to change the meaning. They sentences, you got to see how a sentence is worded. It's English language. You got to really look into what you reading, and you can't just read a sentence, add the comma. You can't add the run-on sentence after the comma, put it all together and say, see, and say that right there. So let's go. Let's see. He tried to trash King James. They trying to, because brothers don't comprehend the King James version. Like I did my roof class. I went in and hit, all the information was in this book. And another thing, that the 1828 Webster is the dictionary that goes with the King James. You got the Zonderville too, but the real meaning of these words is in the 1828. And it helps you, it gives you, it elevates your understanding about the King James, how they put it together like a mystery book, a puzzle. They put this thing together like a puzzle book. A mystery code is written in code and slang, and it's a puzzle. Let's go to Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So King James, the Most High put it on King James to put this book together. Let's see. Let's see if it wasn't. Brothers want to run to the Hebrew and the Greek and all. Like King James didn't know Hebrew. Brothers act like King James didn't understand Hebrew or the Greek. Come on, man. This book was strategically put together for a reason. Because English was going to be the dominant language. How are you going to teach people in Hebrew when you still trying to learn Hebrew yourself? You get out there speaking all that, you ain't going, people that's walking past, they going to keep walking. Brothers out there teaching, people be stopping and all that because they hearing as they walking by or from a distance the English language. Let's go to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 86. King James Version. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James I, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years. As James VI, several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the bishop's Bible. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars. No, the King James is garbage. You don't need it. It wasn't nothing. It's just it's just an English book written in the English language. You got to go back to the Hebrew all the time. 47 of the best Hebrew scholars. Now, I'm just waking up to Hebrew not too long ago, and I know more than Hebrew scholars from ancient times. 47 of the best Hebrew scholars. Hebrew and Greek scholars. So I ain't got to go into the Hebrew, and I ain't got to go to the Septuagint, because I understand the English language. You can go in there if you want to for double edification, but all the information right here. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocryphal. 2 of the groups met at Oxford. Oxford, they supposed to be the cream of the crop when it comes to the English language. 2 for the New and 1 for the Apocryphal. 2 of the groups met at Oxford. Nah, they ain't know what they was doing. They just did anything with the basic English language. They didn't strategically put this book together. Not only were they Hebrew and Greek scholars, they was English scholars too, on top of it. Met at Oxford. 2 at Cambridge. And 2 at Westminster. So these guys that King James got was the best of the best. Nah, my understanding deeper than them. All I gotta do is go back to the Hebrew. 2 of the groups met at Oxford, 2 at Cambridge, and 2 at Westminster. When a group had completed its task, its work was submitted to 12 men. Nah, it went through one process. When a group had completed its task, its work was submitted to 12 men. Nah, that number 12, it don't mean the Most High ain't have his hand in that. When everything is based around the number 12, the Most High done made up, and came up, done fitted for us. Was submitted to 12 men. 2 from each panel. Final differences of opinion were settled at a general meeting of each company. Nah, I just went through one stage. So when a work was submitted to 12 men, that's stage 2. 2 from each panel. Final differences of opinion were settled at a general meeting of each company. In cases of special difficulty, learned men outside the board of revisers were consulted. That's 4 stages. Nah, it was just basic thought put into the King James version. Man, the Most High had the best of the best strategically put this book together, man. Drug it from the Hebrew through the Greek, through the English, all scholars from each language. Men of understanding. Went through them, then went through another stage, and then when they needed more, they went through another stage. Come on, man. Let's go. It's getting good. So why they do that? Let's go to Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28 and 11. For with stammering lips, hold on. Let's go to verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will the Lord speak to his people. So the Most High knew we was going to be in captivity. And English was going to be the dominant language. So this book had to be translated into English from somebody he ordained. Because people always been tampering with our stuff and taking it and making doing this and that. The Most High got somebody he ordained to translate it. Where we at? Verse 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith may cause, hold on, yeah, we worry to rest. And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. And this is the refreshing. This was the refreshing of the old times. They refreshed it. How did they refresh it? They made it in English. It's refreshing that we in captivity and this book is in English, easy to read, long as you got comprehension. Easy to read for you. Sitting on grandma's table forever. Just pick it up, open it up, and read it. And we got books of like the 1828 Webster. The 1828 Webster breaks down the King's English. So you got books to go to get more understanding on words in here. These modern dictionaries don't fit this book. You gotta go on the 1828 Webster. Like I seen a brother do about that seed of the father thing. We gonna get into that. Let's go to Sirach 13 to 26. Sirach chapter 13, verse 26. He shall set his children under her shelter. Oh, no, it's 14, Salakia. 13 to 26. A cheerful countenance is a token of the mind that is in prosperity. And the finding out of parables is a worrisome labor of the mind. So, if you ain't meditating on stuff for a while and thinking it all the way through, this stuff supposed to be a worrisome labor. That's why this book, a lot of brothers get confused, confounded with this book. They get confounded with the King James. Because it's not a worrisome labor in the mind. They want to read on the surface. They're not putting the time that it takes to fully get the understanding. The finding out of parables is a worrisome labor of the mind. This book not going to be that easy to understand. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 4 and 2. Second Esdras chapter 4, verse 2. And said, thy heart is gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High. If you're spending too much time in your mind being worldly, and you're not spending more time meditating in this right here, you're not going to have to understand it. Of course, you're going to come up talking about we all Nazarites, and we was only eating grass. We was only ordained to eat grass. And not drink no wine and this effeminate stuff. Oh man, killing animals is wrong. Oh man. Mosiah say a God of war. A terrible God. And it's a violence on top of it. We gonna get to it. We ain't even diving to the meat of this lesson yet. We getting there. Alright. Now we about to now. Now we about to now. All that talk I was talking about comprehension, we about to see right now. Because I seen a part where the brother read the scripture and the comprehension of it wasn't there. He just read a sentence and see, it say that. But he didn't break the sentence down properly. Comprehension was a topic in school. And in English, they broke down, sentences got broke down, punctuation got explained, everything. All that stuff count in the English language. Let's go to Genesis chapter 9. Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that move upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Into your hand they are delivered. So we got control over everything. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat to you, for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. It say every moving thing that liveth. And I believe I seen a brother try to say that was talking about plants. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. It's comparing animals now to plants. It's a diversity. Even as the green herb, every moving thing. No, it's talking about plants when the wind blows. They swaying and moving like that. That's what he's talking about. No, talking about stuff that's really moving. You might gotta chase it. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. A diversity. Even as the green herb. It's a semicolon right there. So it's another sentence added on to this one. It's even as the green herb. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. So run-on sentence is what's going on. Shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. So he just told you, not only did I give you all the animals to choose from, all the creatures that live to choose from, I gave you all the plants to choose from, long as it's righteous under dietary law. Let's keep going. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. We're going to get into it. So the brother read that and thinking, oh, that's what it's actually saying. It's a comma right there. Let's get into it. Which is the blood thereof shall ye not eat. Verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require, at the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. So this talking about the blood strictly. We about to prove it. We about to prove it. Let's get in. Now let's get into 3 letters about the teeth. And we're gonna go back to it and break down Genesis 9, 1 through 4. We're gonna get back into it. Hold on. Now we doing teeth now. Okay. Now we're gonna start with carnivores. Most carnivores have long, sharp teeth, adapted to ripping, tearing, or cutting flesh, while many also possess a few molars in the back of their mouths and sharp incisors in the front. The most important teeth for carnivores are their long, sharp canine teeth, which humans have. Let's go back. Now let's do herbivores. Herbivores have broad, flat molars, back teeth. Our molars are not flat, with rough surfaces, which are used for grinding up tough plant tissue. Many herbivores, like squirrels, have chisel-like front teeth. Wood. These teeth grow continuously. Okay, but basically, most herbivores got a lot of flat teeth, right? Not all of them. We're gonna get into it. Now let's go to omnivores. Somebody answered, humans are definitely omnivores. The best evidence is our teeth. We have biting, tearing, ripping, incisors, and canines. Like carnivores, and showing molars like herbivores, animals with such diverse teeth to be omnivores. Then the Most High in Genesis 9 said he gave us a diversity. So why wouldn't he make our body a diversity? So we got diverse teeth. We gonna go on something else that's diverse about us too. So we gonna break this stuff all the way down. Now we going into, okay, we got two videos. So we had one doctor who's not a biologist. We gonna see what he said right here.
Quite like this one. She got her life back. You can't put that into words. This video sees Dr. Milton Mills of What the Health fame, as a form of institutionalized racism, open up about life, death, and how his daily struggles influence him as a doctor. Sometimes people ask, well, why are you carrying around extra weight? I've met him briefly before, and it was very clear that he doesn't hold back when it comes to responding to critics. What I would say to Joe Rogan is, Joe Rogan, you need more fiber in your diet because you're full of it. I had so many questions I wanted to ask him, starting with why he thinks we are herbivores by design. Look at the way human beings are actually constructed anatomically, and if you look at our physiology, we are truly strict herbivores. And that's why when we depart from a strictly plant-based diet, we become ill.
You hear that? That's what he said, right? That was his opinion. And he a doctor. He a doctor, nigga's named Dr. Milton or something like, but he not a biologist though. That's his opinion. Now we about to get another understanding from a biologist. We gonna get more understanding. This person right here is rebuttaling what that doctor said. It's Esau.
Human beings are designed to be omnivores and not herbivores or not fruitivores. Now, oftentimes I hear this that we're only designed to eat fruit. Now, I'm just going to be debunking this. I think this really gets popular where Dr. Milton Mills, if I'm saying his name correctly, picture's going to be, I'm going to show a picture of him right now, says that we're frugivores or that we shouldn't eat meat. Now, obviously, I'm not saying he's wrong in his profession because I'm sure he's a very knowledgeable man that knows a lot in his own profession. However, he is not a biologist, scientist, or anything else. Of course, that being said, a lot of his information should be taken as credible because he is a doctor and he probably knows more than, me or you does. But to say he is more credible than a biologist seems a little ridiculous. Well, anyways, I'm going to be going over his arguments right now. Remember, guys, if you
that's
like
Esau
this,
just
like
being
this video and this is educational
just
too,
being
make sure
nice.
to like. And without further ado, I'm going to start with the video. So first of all, the animals that he's comparing us to are
just because you a doctor, you got DR in front of your name.
There is a difference. But anyways, basically what he's saying is that we're frugivores because we walk on four legs and paws or walk upright. Our mouth is a small opening. Okay, well, I'm just going to debunk this. There are many different types of herbivores, like hippos, horses, and a bunch of other animals and camels that have huge mouth openings, and they only eat plants. The next one is canines for defense in the frugivore, blunt canines. Now, of course, the thing is, our canines are sharp enough to eat meat on their own. So really, there's no need to develop gigantic canines like, say, a bear or a tiger. We've always had weapons. And our teeth are not flat. I mean, if you look at our molars, for example, our molars are not flat. They're jagged. But anyways, big and flat incisors, again, was the notion. Our incisors are not completely flat. If you look at your back teeth, yeah, they're flatter than your front teeth, but they're not really flat. Like, they're still jagged and rough. And yeah, sweat through pores, again. Basically, all this proves that we are omnivores, because if you look at the animal that they're comparing us to, or that Dr. Milton Mills is comparing us to, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, it's an omnivore, not a frugivore. Second of all, frugivores are typically omnivores that primarily eat fruit. So honestly, this really just doesn't make much sense as to what this proves. In fact, and if anything, this would prove that we're omnivores. But actually, there are many Artis arguments, which is the main point he is using, is that's not even true, because you have herbivores like camels, hippos, and water deers that only eat plants that have canines. I'll show pictures of those right now. So, and then you have carnivores like whales, for example, that have flat teeth and that only eat meat. The next argument is claws, and again, most herbivores have claws. Look at guinea pigs, koalas, kangaroos, green iguanas, and birds that only eat plants and they have claws. But you can look at many different carnivores like wolves, walruses, frogs, toads, salamanders, and dolphins, and sharks that eat meat, and they have no claws at all. So, honestly, next, in fact, what really tells if you're an omnivore or herbivore or carnivore is your digestive system. For 1 hour, digestive system can metabolize many different types of foods. We can get nutrition from meats, plants, and anything, really, that we could digest. And so happens we could do that. If we were really meant to be frugivores, we'd only be able to get our nutrients from fruits and vegetables and nuts. But instead, we could get nutrients from almost anything. Second is stomach acidity. Our stomach is the strongest among any primate.
You see that?
Our stomach is 1.5 to 3.5, which is where it should be. To be a comparison, an herbivore, or specifically a frugivore, its stomach acid is 5.1 to 8.1. A carnivore stomach acid, like a lion or a wolf, is 1.1 to 3.5. So this would actually, funny enough, put us in the carnivore category. Now, I'm not saying we should only eat meat. But what I am saying is that to say our bodies are designed to mostly live on a vegan or vegetarian diet seems a little bit of a stretch. As our bodies, our digestive system, we have the same acidity as a carnivore.
See that?
Or an omnivore like a bear.
Brothers want to go on a science.
So just to recap on this, the point of this is not to debunk
yes, it is,
but not to go against what this doctor is
saying.
He's just trying to be modest. What he is saying is credible. Again, what he should just be saying is that humans don't need meat to live. We could live on a vegan, vegetarian, or carnivore diet. This is clear. Whatever lifestyle fits better for you, you could live on whatever lifestyle. You could live being a meat eater, you could live being a vegan, you could live being an omnivore. It really doesn't matter what your eating habits are, as our bodies are adapted to eat various amounts of diets. We're omnivores, this is clear. However, to say that we're only designed to eat plants seems a little bit of a stretch, as the evidence I've showed you. But anyways, no disrespect to Dr. Milton Mills, no disrespect to the people who actually believe in this, and obviously no disrespect to people on plant-based diets. But sorry, guys, we are omnivores and not herbivores or frugivores or whatever. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, have a great day, and peace out as always.
See that? Broke that stuff all the way down. That's from a scientific level. And that back up the scripture. The Most High giving us a diversity, man. It backs that up. Let's go to now we about to break down. I seen the brother. He tried to go on to Genesis, but he didn't get no comprehension to the sentence. So now I'm about to get a comprehension to it. Now let's go back over it now. Genesis 9:1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all the moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. So that's why creatures are skittish to man. The Most High designed us to every creature gonna be knowing of man, and they should be. And the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth. We the superior band species on this plane. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Go back up. Every beast of the earth, upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth. Nah, we keep talking about plants. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. It compared the animals to the vegetation. Verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, it say, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood. The life of the flesh is the blood. But flesh with the life thereof, it say, but flesh with life thereof, which is blood, which is the blood, thereof shall ye not eat. Got to break that sentence down. But flesh with the life thereof. Bloody meat in a nutshell, which is the blood thereof shall ye not eat. It's technical right there. Let's dive deep into it. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Break this stuff all the way down. You don't need to go into a million books and all this and that. The most that King James and them put enough into this book, whereas if you take time out to meditate on certain stuff and get the proper additions to go with this, you can break this all the way down. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy 12. We diving deep into this, because I seen that what the brother said. He just read a sentence. He ain't break the sentence down. You got to break these sentences down. Deuteronomy 12 and 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life. Right? It's making another distinction, talking strictly about the blood. And thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Let's go back. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, a distinction, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. You gotta cook that stuff and get rid of all the blood. Your flesh is just matter. It's not alive. The blood is what's living inside of you, which holds the spirit and all that. It's the blood. The blood is the living organism that makes everything operate. Read it again. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life. That's another run-on sentence. It's a punctuation mark right there. And thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. And thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Verse 24. Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Now, it's talking about the flesh too. Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. See that? Get rid of the blood. It's telling you over and over to get rid of the blood. Let's go to trying to get something. That's all right. Let's go to Genesis 9 and 4 again. See, you got to break this stuff down. The Most High telling you, you got to separate the blood from the flesh. That's why we cook our stuff well done, so it ain't no more blood. And other people like to eat it with blood. But he's telling you, don't eat the blood with the flesh like Esau and them do. Let's go to back to Genesis 9:4 again. Let's read it again. See if it makes sense again now. But flesh with the life thereof, blood, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. The Most High being technical, he blatantly telling you it's the blood is what he targeting for you not to eat. It's the blood. Let's see why. Let's go to Leviticus. Let's see if it's talking about the flesh too. Leviticus 17. Leviticus 17 and 11. For the life of the flesh is the blood. It reiterated it again. For the life of the flesh is the blood. Your body ain't nothing but a vessel without the blood in it. For the life of the flesh is the blood. And I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Verse 12. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood. It's talking literal blood. Neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth, nah, we gonna eat, we hunting for plants. Which hunteth and catcheth, nah, I gotta hunt and catch this plant. I'm hungry. I'm about to go hunt and catch a plant. Which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten. Which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten. Then in Genesis 9, he told us he gave us everything. He put everything in our hand, of the animals and the plants. He shall even pull out the blood thereof and cover it with dust. Didn't I read in was it Deuteronomy? They pull the blood out on the ground like it's water. Verse 14. For it is the life of all flesh. It's reiterating it again. The blood of it is for the life thereof. The blood is this meant strictly for the blood thereof. It wasn't meant to eat. Therefore, I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh. Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh. So it don't matter what kind of flesh animal it is, you're not supposed to eat the blood. It don't matter what kind of flesh it is, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh. For the life of the flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. That's why Esau was cut off, because he ate blood. Jacob wasn't finished cooking. He ain't care because he was hungry. That's the mystery in that parable. And ate the blood. They blood eaters. I ain't even got to get into that. You see that everywhere. They blood eaters. Most High strictly talking about blood. Let's go to Acts. Let's get some more in. Let's get some more about eating meat. Let me read over it one more time. Deuteronomy 12 and 23. Only be sure. Hold on, let's go to 22. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten. so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. It's going into something else when you go up. Only ye shall not eat the blood, ye shall pour upon the earth as water. 16, it's going into, I ain't reading all that, it's going into something else. Oh, it's talking about the Levites. Okay. Eat flesh, thou may eat flesh whatsoever thou so lusteth after. Okay, so it's going, okay. Let's go down. 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood. So it's telling you you can eat animals. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood. For the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. And thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. That word with makes a distinction. It makes a separation right there. Just like if I say, I went outside, I brought my phone with my cup. Hey, that don't make them together. It say I brought my phone with my cup. They two separate things. Even though I got both of them together with me, that word with. I brought my phone with my cup. Is my phone and is my cup attached to my phone? Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. It said with the flesh. God had comprehension, man, to break this book, this book that's in English. Now let's go to Acts 15 to 29. Book of Acts 15 to verse 29. That ye abstain from meats offered to idols and from blood. You see that? That ye abstain from eating meats offered to idols, wicked feast days, wicked customs, and from blood, and from things strangled. So let's see why I said and from things strangled. Let's get into some more. Get into some more. Right here. It say, why meat from scared animals tastes worse? It say, at least not as you, okay, that's because when animals and presumably humans have been frightened or stressed out before death, it actually affects the quality of their meat. So let's get some more in it. The scientific basis for the phenomenon is well established, and it's frequently been discussed as a reason to make slaughterhouse practices more humane, which they trying to do. The key ingredient here is lactic acid. In an unstressed animal after death, muscle glycogen is converted into lactic acid, which helps keep the meat tender, pink, and flavorful. Adrenaline released by stress before slaughter uses up glycogen, which means there's not enough lactic acid produced post-mortem. This affects different kind of meat in different ways, but in general, it'll be tough, tasteless, and high in pH. It will go bad quicker than unstressed meat. Lactic acid helps slow the growth of spoilage bacteria. You see that? It's a science behind everything. But that's why right here in Acts, it tell you, and it say that ye may abstain from meats offered unto idols and from blood. and from things strangled. Tell you right there, stay away from bad food, basically bad meat, poison meat. All right, let's go to Leviticus 22 and 8. Let's go back and see if it's science in this book. Do that science back up the Most High? Let's go. So we went in the science of it. Let's see if it's a law. Let's see if the science and the law go together, because it's a reason. I just broke down a scientific reason why. Now let's see if the Most High ordained us to do that anyway, for that reason. Leviticus 22 and 8. They shall therefore, hold on, that which dieth of itself, hold on, let's go. And when the sun is down, he shall be clean and shall afterward eat of the holy things, because it is his food. That which dieth of itself from natural causes, or is torn with beasts. You eating something that another animal done killed and ripped up, that don't died a horrible death. He shall not eat to defile himself thereof with, I am the Lord. Not only is it spiritually nasty not to do it, but it's a scientific reason behind it too. I just went over that. Let's go to Sirach 37 and 30. Let's see what else about meat scientifically makes sense. Let's see. We are ordained to eat meat or not. Let's go to let's go to Sirach 37. And 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness. So we know in the scriptures, meat going to doctrine, meat's going into herbs, and meat going into literal meat. It's a, where we at? For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will not turn into choler. Let's go up to 29. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing. Be not unsatisfied, nor too greedy upon meats. It's saying be not too greedy upon meat. So we are able to eat it, but it's saying don't be greedy. Let's see why. For excessive meats bringeth sickness. When you're just trying to be a carnivore, it's a penalty. Cancer, diabetes, and surfeiting will turn into choler. So now let's break down the word surfeiting. Let's go on to how is it spelled? Surfeiting. Let's go on and see if it's a science about surfing. Going into 1828 Webster, the dictionary I said, they got an app. I got the dictionary too. Let's see. Surfeiting. The act of feeding to excess, gluttony, or gluttony. Let's go up to the other definition. Oppressing the system by excessive eating or drinking. You overload in your digestive system. Oppressing the system by excessive eating and drinking. Cloying, loading, or filling to disgust. What's one of the sayings in the world? Stuffing yourself like a pig. Let's go. So it's telling you basically you can eat meat, but this don't be too greedy. You can bring on sickness. Let's see. Let's go back and read it again. Sirach 37 and 30. For excessive meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. CHOLER. So now let's go into the word choler. See these definitions backing up what the scripture's saying. That's how you know the 1828 was designed to go with the King James. Go to choler. A sudden evacuation of bile, diarrhea, both upwards and downwards. You never see nobody that stuff they sell so much that they had bile that came up this way and that way. Let's get another definition. The bile. By the superabundance of this fluid, anger was formerly supposed to be produced. You stuffed and bloated, or perhaps the opinion was that the bile caused the inflamed appearance of the face in anger. You so full and stuff, you're sick, basically. So these definitions backed up what the scripture said. You basically gonna be bloated. Let's keep going. Now let's go. Let's get deep. Go back deep into it. Let's hit it from another angle. Let's go to Romans. Romans 14. Break this down. This going to get in scientific right here too. Check this out. Romans 14. That's a spur right on. Romans 14 and 1 and 2. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful dispensations. Right? That's talking spiritually. Now let's see. Now let's go here. Verse 2. For one believeth that he may eat all things. Spiritually talking about doctrines. Physically talking about you think you can eat stuff and ain't no consequence. Another who is weak eateth herbs. So you being greedy, you want to eat stuff that's not good for the system, meat wise. What are you sick? And what it say? For one believeth that he may eat all things. Another who is weak eateth herbs. Let's see why I say another that's weak eateth herbs. Because let's see what herbs do. Let's go to Sirach 38 and 4. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Let's go back over here. Another who is weak eateth herbs. Let's go up, read it again. Let not him that eateth, hold on. For one believeth that he may eat all things. Another who is weak eateth herbs. Another who is sick eateth herbs, eateth medicine. Let's go to talk about medicine right there. Let's go back to it say eateth herbs. Let's read it again. Sirach 38 and 4. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth. A herb is a medicine. A herb is a medicine. The Most High gave us a balanced diet. He gave us herbs for medicine. He gave us fruits. He gave us produce. And gave us the main course. Meat or flesh, or whatever you want to call it. without the blood. Cook your stuff without the blood. It's what the Most High told you in the beginning of the book in the law. Let's see why the Most High gave us a balance. Let's see why he gave us a balanced diet. Let's see if the Most High lying on that. Let's see if I'm just making this stuff up. I'm trying to push a nerd in. Let's see if the Most High don't back up all the information I just brought out. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Nah, the Most High wants us to be one-dimensional. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. A balance. Nah, he just made us, we vegetarians like a deer or a cow just eating grass, or we a frugivore like the doctor said. We just was made to eat fruit. You know, just load yourself with sugar all day long. It ain't no balance in your salts and sugars. It's just sugar, or it's just salts with being a vegetarian. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Come on now. Come on now. The Most High gave us a balance. Let's see what balance he gave us. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis. See, I ain't had to go into all that other stuff. I ain't got to rack my brain because I'm pressed to push a nerd in all the information. When you read this book with comprehension skills, it makes sense. It makes sense. Genesis 1. Can't nobody come behind this and poke no hole in it. You can't. Genesis 1:29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb, bearing seed, medicine, which is upon the face of the earth, every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. See that? He said he gave us herb, medicines, then he gave us produce. To you it shall be the meat, right? Let's go down to 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, wherein there is life. It say, wherein there is life, blood. Then it say the blood is the life. Everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, wherein there is blood. I have given every green herb. And when you get right there, wherein there is life, there's a comma. You can't keep reading that and put it all together. You got to stop at the comma. Then it's called a run-on sentence. Everything that creepeth upon the earth, comma, because it's making another statement, wherein there is life, wherein there is blood. Said he gave us all that. I had given every green herb for meat. And it was so. So it's a comma right there. I have given every green herb for meat. And then it's a semicolon right. It's colon right there. You gotta break these sentences down. That's why I say here a little and there a little. King James and them put this together like a puzzle. And now let's go back to Genesis 9 to see if Genesis 9 reiterate Genesis 1. Let's see. This book is redundant. It repeats itself. Genesis 9, verse 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, make babies, not man with man, woman with woman, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth. Everything gonna be scared of you. And upon every fowl of the air, upon all the move upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea, into your hand are they delivered. Nah, he just put them in our hand for us just to hunt them and kill them like Esau do. Not to make clothes and for food. Upon all the fishes of the sea, into your hand are they delivered. Riz, go back up. Upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth. Upon all that moveth upon the earth. Nah. Plants move, they walk, they get up. I don't want to be right here no more. I want to live across the street by that tree. And they just uproot themselves and then get to walking over there. Dig a hole, bend over the leaves, dig a hole, and then plant and put the dirt back on them. Upon all that move upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea, into your hand are they delivered. Verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Nah, that's only talking about plants. That's only talking about plants and plants and fruits. That's all that's talking about. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb. It went into up here. Let's go back and read it over. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all the moving upon the earth. So the Most High letting us know everything that live, I'm giving you the option of whatever you want to do, long as it's righteous. And upon all the fishes of the sea. And I'm giving everything in the ocean for you too to choose from. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb. Nah, it's just talking about everything is talking about plants to eat. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. It just broke it down up there. It was talking about animals. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. So they basically telling you, it's a comma right there. When you get the you, that's the end of that sentence. And now it's a run-on sentence. That punctuation right there is letting you know a run-on sentence come on after that. Even as the green herb, even as the green herb. That's a comparison. It's comparing animals, the plants, the diversity of it. The plants, the animals and the fish is compared to the abundance of them is compared to the abundance of vegetation. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. So the Most High gave us all things. He gave us I want to get a little bit of this right here. Get me some lamb. Even if you want to eat some locusts. Some bee honey. Honey come from a bee. So you basically eating nectar from an insect is what you doing. So that's would be considered eating insects. Honey. Brothers don't think about that. Bet you eat honey. Insects considered animals. It said everything that creepeth. Everything that moveth. Don't bees move and fly? They not a bird. They're an insect. But you eat their honey and a honeycomb. Let's go to verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, what's the life? Blood. But flesh with, that word with again, but flesh with the life thereof. No, it's just talking about flesh, period. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood. It's a comma after thereof. It's a comma. Now it's about to go into another statement. Which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. Everything valid except dealing with the blood. And I read the scripture about no manner of flesh with the blood. So it don't matter what kind of flesh the blood comes from. The blood is not valid. Period. Proverbs 11:1. Let's see why the Most High gave us diversity like that. He a just God, right? So he's not going to make us this subjugated the one thing. We got all this bounty of stuff under our control and all that. We the most versatile creatures and all that. But he just going to ordain us this. We only can just go eat vegetation. So if that's the case, not only can you just eat vegetation, you're talking about you a Nazarite, then it's a whole big list of vegetation you can't even eat, Negro. Brothers don't think nothing through. They just be pressed trying to create a doctrine. It don't even make sense. It's stupid and idiotic. Like the Edomite said in the video, to each his own. If you just want to be a vegetarian, that ain't against the law. If you just want to eat meat, that ain't against the law. That might not be a healthy lifestyle. Just like just being a vegetarian. You're going to be flatulent. You're going to have gas all the time. It's safe at a certain point you're not. But even still, you're going to be gassy all the time and bowels running all the time. It's a diversity. It's like that for a reason. Our systems is made. I showed the science where even the stomach acid in our stomach, it is the pH for breaking down meats and stuff. Hard breaking down stuff. The pH level is the same as a carnivore. Everything is diverse about the human being. We can go on the land, we can go on the water, we can eat plants, animals, insects. It's a diversity with us about everything. You know what I mean? We can dig in the ground, we can go in the sea, we can go up in the air. We not stuck just to know one thing. Everything about us screams diversity. Let's see why. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Nah, because Esau and some of these blind doctors, these doctors on the agenda, up in their own mind. What did the Most High say? The ways of a man's mind, a man is right in his own mind. To that effect, a fool ways is right in his own mind. A false balance is abomination to the Lord. So when you brothers do that, you speaking against Yahweh, man. You saying that he not an infinite being with infinite knowledge, that he made a mistake somewhere. That he ain't give us no diversity of a diet. We the most versatile creatures, you know what I mean, that we can do everything we want to do on this earth, but we only supposed to just eat vegetation. So I showed scientifically, and I showed through letters, videos, and the scriptures, scientifically and biblically, all together, that the Most High gave us a diverse diet, man. You brothers need to go back and read over the book again. Because the Most High ordained this book right here for us for these times now. You know what I mean? The Hebrew and all that out here, but what's the dominant language on the planet? It's English. He said he gonna give us the pure language when we get set back up in Jerusalem. So he basically telling us, don't worry about the Hebrew. Ain't nothing wrong with studying your roots and all that and going back into it, but don't worry about that. I put men together to give y'all this in English, because y'all gonna be being oppressed and forced to learn. You're gonna be born speaking English, and it's gonna be hard for you. Not only you not gonna have the ancient Hebrew, and if you do get bits and pieces of it or whatever, it's not pure. It's not pure, and it's gonna be hard when you grew up speaking English your whole life to speak that fluently. I ain't a teacher. I ain't to have a masses of people speaking Paleo Hebrew. So just on a basic level, it's common sense that this was meant for us now. When we get back set up, we ain't gonna have English no more. It's gonna be Paleo Hebrew again. You know what I mean? Men want to keep rushing the Most High time frame, trying to speed this stuff up, not being patient. We gonna get the Paleo Hebrew back. We didn't come over here speaking Paleo Hebrew. We came over here speaking Aramaic Hebrew. So we didn't even have the original language when we got over here. It was close to it, but it wasn't even in. So brothers need to slow down, man, and dissect what he gave us to use with the tools. You wasn't raised up in a school system for nothing. Brothers in the truth. You or even me rapping and all that, being a lyricist. All that stuff wasn't for nothing. Learn about wordplay and slang and all that. All that stuff go into this right here, this puzzle, this mystery puzzle code book, clue book. And on that note, shalom, shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad reading. Zephaniah, Yahayaka, Yasha'Allah, coming from Sith Lord Tiger School of Truth. Service in the house of the Lord, together in God's eternal righteousness. Sith Lord Tiger. Stick together, y'all. You know, and just keep studying and meditating and keep fighting for the truth and keep battling, because we at spiritual war right now with everything going on, but we still got to keep sound doctrine. Something don't make sense, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to speak out on it and battle it or whatever. It ain't nothing personal, you know what I mean? And on that note, shalom.